This is what you guys been waiting for after weeks of waiting and waiting and waiting. And we got them, y'all, only here on the infamous Sylvia's channel. We're getting ready to do a reenactment of what happened in the courtroom. Woo! Wee! In the courtroom. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me get my lights on. But here's what we're going to do. Hold on a second. All right, I had to get my light going here. So we're gonna do a reenactment. We're not gonna do the whole thing tonight. What we're getting ready to do is give you a little snippet of what we have as far as the Leonora's here. I've been waiting for you, young lady. Well, anyway, we are here this evening. We got it first, exclusive, the transcript from the trial, the CardiB versus Tasha K. Remember she said some mess about we were telling lies and all this kind of stuff? Well, the truth is going to be shown today right here in this channel right here. No one else has it but this channel. Ha! All right, let me bring out my actors. Here we go. Miss Matt, the juror. Tasha K, the judge, court deputy, and my standby. All right, guys, we're going to get started. Could everybody mute? If you're not going to read, please mute your phone. All right, so we're going to give you a little snippet. Not much, not all of it, just a snippet. Okay, y'all? Here we go. We get ready to start. Bam! Do you guys see this? What is the date on that? Fresh, hot off the press. I tell you, hot off the press. Hot off the press. What does that say? This is the case number. Case number 119-CV0130WMR. Court document number 209. And the file date is March 1st, which was yesterday, wasn't it? We got it, y'all. Here we go. Rabbit says she's all excited. Let me say hello to the people in the chat first. My actors, would you mind saying hello to everyone?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome to the infamous Sylvia Show. Hi, Rosie Grand. Hello, Dotson Renee. Hello, Lady Coltrane. Candy Green's in the house. Powerful's in the house. Hello, Tijuana. Black Beauty. Tori. Rhoda. Sonia. Green Eyes, Miss Green Eyes, Shaw Jones, hello. Hey, love from Ether, thank you so much for that email. Oh my God, you just melt my heart on that email. Thank you so much. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Rabbit. Leonora, she's in here. She's in the house. I've been waiting on her. I know she's been waiting. Hey, Ray. Hey, Prospective Me. Kitty's in the house. Hello, Shannon. Hello, Melly Mel's in the house. Kimberly, One Cool P. Sweet one. I wanted to shout out to One Cool P and Mel because those two troopers help us get over that bridge and getting these transcripts. Ha! Hello, Miss Dennis. Hello, Lavelle's in the house. Alicia Walker, hello, Special K. Okay, my tongue is getting tired. Hey, T girl, I'm getting tired. Hey, Aretha. Hey, Shaka. Okay, I'm messing up her name. Shakana, hello, good design. Okay, I'm tired. Can we get started, y'all? We have 81s in the chat. Can we get some likes up? Can we get some like up? All right, guys, you ready to take over?
Yeah.
Ready.
All right, guys. Here we go. We're only going to give you a snippet, and you're going to have to come back on Friday when we're going to read all of it. All right, here we go. Just a snippet, y'all. Just a snippet to show you guys that we are not lying. We have the real transcript, not the fake one that everybody been trying to act like they had. We got it here. All right, let's get started. Court.
The video, is it not showing up on your screen?
We don't see anything on our screen. It's been admitted.
It's been admitted?
Yeah, this was admitted.
I'm sorry. Why don't you back up at least to the start of this last clip?
Yeah.
Your Honor, can I get a water?
Sure.
My throat is dry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Hold on just a second.
My water? That's not mine.
That's
That's
Tasha.
the dealer. Mine is right on the table where my husband is sitting. Thank you.
All right. Can you cue it up to 8:12? I believe that was where we started with this session. All right. You can pause now. Okay. That was the first clip. And then why don't we start this second clip over? I think we were going to 14:05. Okay. If you can pause there. So is what you're talking about here that you believe that these comments confirm that my client knew Star Marie Jones?
Yes, this was an actual dancer that Cardi gave me to research and get her side of the story from. And her name is Ash Cash Legit. This is actually blank, a thread that was taken out of my comment section under the actual post.
Okay. But what you're saying you understood was that the two of them, meaning Cardi and Star Marie, knew one another because they worked together, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is this one of the people earlier when we talked about your testimony, where you said you talked to some of her prior co-workers, but they didn't confirm the herpes, the prostitution, or the cocaine use?
Yes, ma'am.
You recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is part of what you were referring to when you said you went out and talked to some people, and then you continued to post about the interview, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. If we can please go to 3911. All right, if you can pause here. All right. And so here again, you're talking about a cease and desist letter that you received. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's the one you received from Cardi's attorney?
At the time, I didn't believe it came from an actual attorney because it wasn't signed.
Okay. But you understand now that it did, correct?
I believe so. I mean, you're a different attorney, so from the one that sent the first one, and it wasn't notarized.
Do you know if have your attorneys ever sent a cease and desist letter on your behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they notarize it typically?
They signed it.
They sign it, but not notarize it.
Yes, they signed every cease and desist.
So you don't think the cease and desist letters have to be notarized?
Well, that cease and desist didn't actually have my correct name on it, and it wasn't signed. So I didn't take it as a serious cease and desist that came from an attorney. So I thought it was something that was just drafted from anybody that was sent to me just to stop with the story.
So the question was, you don't think cease and desist have to be notarized? What's your answer?
No, they don't have to be notarized, just signed. I got that. I mixed that up. I apologize.
Okay. If we can cue up the Cardi 006, and I'm going to find the number right now.
What's the number?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Give me 1 second. It's plaintiff's 524. And Your Honor, this recording has been stipulated by request for admission number 6.
You're tendering 524?
Yes.
Any objection?
No objection.
524 is admitted without objection. Whereupon plaintiff's exhibit 524 was marked for purposes of identification and admitted into evidence.
And I'd like to just read one stipulated fact into the record, and that is on April 25th of 2019, defendants published a recording of a phone call Kibi had with Lovely T, and that was defined as the Lovely T.I. recorded call. All right, if you could start playing this for a moment. If we can just pause, just so we can identify for the members of the jury and members of the courtroom whose voice is whose. In this recording that you just heard, you said, "Hey, you got a second?" Right?
Uh-huh.
And the more we'll say softer voice on the other end of the line that picked up and said hello, that's Lovely T.I., correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And is this recording the recording of the call that you testified about earlier that you had with, okay, it disappeared. One moment. That you had with her on a weekend after you recorded the interview with Star Marie Jones, but before you published it?
Okay, mine disappeared.
No, this is not that call.
This is not that call?
No, ma'am.
There's a different call?
Yes, there was a different call, but I didn't record that call. I recorded this one after the initial interview was published, when she decided to break ties with me and side with Cardi because Cardi had reached out to her. She was a little starstruck.
Okay. Why don't we start playing it at, oh, I'm sorry. Is this not up on the court screen?
It's up on my screen. I'm seeing the photograph, so I guess.
They can see it?
Court deputy.
They can see it. I just emailed about why these went off.
No, that's fine as long as everyone else's is working. Okay, if you can start playing at around 4:20, please. Let's pause for a moment. So in this call, you're saying that the call you had with Lovely T.I. when she originally told you that she had some information to debunk Star Marie's video, that's not the call that we're listening to now. But this is the call you're discussing with her, correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And the call you're discussing is the one that you had prior to the publication of the actual interview.
And that particular part, but that's a 2-hour phone call right there.
Okay, all right. Let's go to 1017. Actually, let me ask you a question before that starts playing. At this point, is what's going on this call that the two of you are, you're saying you disagree with her about what was said on the other call?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
That's not what's in that call. You can play the entire call and hear exactly what I said, but we were arguing about a multitude of things. But no, that's not the gist of it. The gist of it was the harassing and bullying that went down of Star Marie Jones. That's what we're referencing. But one of the things you were talking about in that call.
Uh-uh.
It's a question.
But one of the things you were talking about in that call just there is that she at least said, "Tasha, I never told you to publish anything."
Can you play that part, please? And play the full context so I'll know what I'm referencing because I don't want to speak without knowing.
You want to start at 420 again? Okay. So the fake news, you're saying everybody is saying I'm putting out fake news, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's referencing the Star Marie interview, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you were just saying, but I got the story from you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're saying I got the story from you, Lovely T.I.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, keep going. All right. So in there, what you're saying to her is that you're saying that Lovely T.I. had information from Cardi's team before she dropped the video. And you're saying you didn't give that to me, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you referencing earlier when you testified about your conversation where she said she had information debunking it? You said you didn't know exactly what it was. Is that what you're referencing in this conversation?
Can you repeat the call? I got distracted with not the call, the question, please. Sorry.
Sure. When you, in this conversation, when you're talking to her about, you said, I'm sorry, could we just play the clip back again? All right, let's pause. So, what I was asking is when you're talking to her about the information that you're saying she had from Cardi, that she let you drop it anyway, you're saying that the information she had when the two of you originally had that call where she told you she had some information debunking Star Marie's interview, correct?
I do not understand your question. I'm sorry. It was really long.
Can you read back?
Can you rephrase the question?
I want to understand the information you're talking about with her. You said you had information from Cardi's team that you didn't share with me before I dropped it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to understand the information that you are referencing. Is it true that that information is the information that you said she had debunking the video before you posted it?
Well, I didn't really know she was going to debunk the video. That's not what we talked about. She said she wanted to know when we had our original phone call after I interviewed Star Marie Jones about the allegations she made on the previous video. She wanted to make sure that I felt that she was truthful because she had received some things from Cardi's team and the internet that said otherwise. And so that was the end. That is all we talked about. We didn't talk about what she had. I didn't know what she had until her video went out because we worked together. It was like Fox News against CNN. So I'm on this side, she's on that other side.
But you knew she had it. She told you. You just testified earlier that she had. She told you she had information debunking it.
But I didn't know to what extent.
Okay, you didn't know to what extent. Did you ask her for it?
No, because we don't do that as bloggers.
Okay, thank you. Move to strike. Non responsive, Your Honor.
Court.
Objection is overruled. The answer will remain.
All right. If we can go to 1017. All right. If we can pause for a minute. Okay, so in this video, excuse me, in this video, in this recording, we just heard you admit that you believe this star has a mental illness. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you recall that you also just said, here's my thing, all these strippers are lying?
Yes, ma'am. Including CardiB.
So I was going to say in your deposition testimony, you recall giving testimony that when you said all these strippers are lying, you were referring to Cardi B and the co-workers of hers that you spoke to and Star Marie Jones, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you thought all of them were lying.
Yeah, they told some lies and some truths. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. If you could go to 1604. All right. If we can pause just there. So you understand at the time that, at least in your mind, you thought both Star Marie Jones and Cardi were lying, correct?
Can I provide context, please?
You've got to answer the question before you.
Okay, so yes, and
Thank you.
You can explain your answer.
oh, I can explain my answer? Okay. Star Marie had told another blogger that I have offered her a radio I guess, deal at the station that I had contracted to record the interview. And so when I was referring to Star Marie lying, I was talking about that because that's the information me and Lovely T were referencing in this call that you didn't play. And so when it came to Cardi B denounced on social media that she did not know Star Marie and then later made a video and said she did. So this recording here, this 2-hour call was a come to Jesus meeting on everything that we had received from social media. All the strippers, Cardi B, Star Marie, and all the other bloggers that were in play because it was a firestorm of media once the interview came out.
And do you recall giving testimony? This video was released on April of 2020. Do you recall giving testimony that you think you recorded it approximately 6 months before that?
Around that time, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what could have been October of 2019?
I can't say. And I think I told in the testimony, I couldn't remember to be exact. I mean, in the deposition.
I'm sorry, I actually misstated that. The stipulated fact was that on April 25th, you published the recorded call. And so you think that this was recorded approximately 6 months before that. So that would be October of 2018.
I was just throwing numbers out there to you because you wanted an exact date and I couldn't give it to you. So, yeah, it was an old call.
Okay. So when you told me that it was approximately 6 months, you were just throwing numbers out there?
I told you that because you kept asking me the same question over and over in the deposition. So I just threw a number out there to get you to move on because you were frustrated that I couldn't remember.
Okay. So when you were frustrated in your deposition, you just said things you weren't sure that they were true.
No, that's not what I said. I just said 6 months per se. I didn't give an exact statement. We can read the statement. Can you refer to it?
We'll get there.
What does 6 months per se mean to you?
Just, it was recorded months back. So she wanted an exact date. I couldn't give one. And it was, I believe, this was on the first day of my deposition where I had never been through a deposition. So I was nervous. And her questions were very combative towards me. So I was really frustrated in the deposition. And I admit that. So when she was trying to get an exact date, I couldn't give her one. So I got frustrated and I said 6 months or something like that. So it wasn't definite. And I made that clear.
I did just ask you if it was approximately 6 months, but we'll move on. All right. So you just said that what you were referring to when you were talking about Star Marie Jones lying was that at this point, Star Marie Jones was actually lying about something that you had said to her, right?
She took it out of context for the conversation happened. But from her perspective, she explained it wrong.
But you just said that when you were on that video talking about lying, that that's what you were talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
That she said that you had offered her a job and that that's not what you said. And when you called that lying, that that's what you were talking about, correct?
Yes, ma'am. In reference to that call, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you at least at this point in time knew that Star Marie was potentially lying about your interactions with her.
About that particular statement she made, but not about other things that she said.
And you also testified earlier that when you were referencing all the strippers and you thought all of them were lying, that that also included Cardi, Ash Cash, Legit, and the other people you talked to, and Star Marie Jones, correct?
It was a multitude of strippers. I believe it was like 4 that I spoke to. including her makeup artist. So everyone told lies and truths. So I can't give you a definite answer on that because some things they did lie about and some things they did tell truth on. But we're talking about 6 people in range that I had conversations with to corroborate Star Marie's story at Cardi B's request.
So, right. But my point is that you at least thought all of them were lying about something, correct?
About something. Something. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall also giving testimony that you said in this phone call that you had said, as far as the herpes and shit, I don't know?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you said, as far as the herpes shit, I don't know, you were saying on this call that you didn't have any personal knowledge of whether or not my client has herpes or not, correct?
Not to, I didn't have any paperwork. No, ma'am.
Well, that's not how you answered the question at your deposition, is it?
Can I look at the deposition, please?
Sure. Let's look at November 30th.
November 30th. Okay.
Okay, starting at line 11. The question was, and when you said, as far as,
I'm sorry, Sarah. What page?
oh, I'm sorry, 44.
Okay.
The question was, and when you said, as far as the herpes and shit, and I said, I apologize for cursing, I'm just repeating the words. You said, I understand. I said, not trying to be rude. When you said, as far as the herpes and shit, I don't know. Were you saying that you did not have personal knowledge of whether or not my client has herpes or not? And you said, yes, I was. Did you give that testimony?
You said it was Monday, November 30th, because I'm on page 44 and I don't see, all I see is about emails and stuff. That was searched.
I'm sorry, page 45. I apologize.
Okay.
Starting at line 11.
So what line again? I'm sorry.
11.
Okay. And when you said as far as the herpes and shit, I'm sorry for cursing. I'm just repeating the words. I don't know what context. Am I allowed to read the context so I'll know how I answered that? Because that is that's your question, correct?
Yeah. And then the next question and answer where you ended with, yes, I was.
I answered that question. I understand because I was referencing our entire conversation.
If you could please read the lines in order and let me know if you gave that deposition testimony.
Okay. So from 11 to what number am I supposed to read?
20.
Okay. And when you said as far as herpes and shit, and I apologize for cursing, I'm just repeating words. I answered, I understand. You said not trying to be rude. When you said as far as herpes and shit, I don't know. Were you saying that you did not have personal knowledge of whether or not my client has herpes or not? And I answered, yes, I was.
Okay, so you did give that testimony, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and in a clip we listened to a couple of minutes ago, you talked about saying Cardi has an entire team to protect her. If people defame her or anything, that's Cardi's job. Do you remember hearing that?
Yes, ma'am. I said that.
Okay. And do you recall giving testimony in this case that you think it's okay for you to put out information about my client that's false?
I don't. I don't understand the context. And when I said that, can we refer to it, please?
Sure.
Okay.
Going to go to the 11 through 19 transcript.
You said November 19th?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what page?
266.
366?
266.
I'm sorry.
Okay, what line?
Okay. Now I'm getting impatient. Okay. Starting at line 15, the question was, do you think it's okay for you to put information out there about my client that is false? Answer, if it's an opinion piece, yes,
Yes.
an opinion. And when you use the word opinion piece, you mean things that you're saying that other people have alleged. Answer, correct. Okay. And so it's okay for you to put out stories on your platform that you know are false, that defame my client, as long as someone else is the one that gave you the information. Answer. If I feel that a story is entertaining and what the public wants, I will put the story out in the manner in which I want to put it out. So it's my platform. Yes. Did you give that testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If we could go to 24, approximately 24 minutes and 59 seconds, please. Can we pause for a minute? When you just said she was definitely manipulating that damn interview, you were talking about Star Marie Jones, correct?
I don't know in which context you were in, but yes, I assume so. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Can you start it over? That way you can hear the whole clip in context since I asked you a question in the middle. All right, let's pause there. Okay. Even though you said in this video that I didn't know you had receipts debunking it, as you admitted earlier, you did know that at least Lovely T.I. had told you she had information debunking it, even if she didn't know what it was, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then we just heard you say, I didn't care because here's the thing, it's up to the fans, it's up to the viewers to make their own decisions.
Did somebody drop off?
Um,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And so when you put out content that other people provide to you think that people should just decide what they believe themselves, correct?
It depends on what context I put out. Information pieces on. So every story is different. So I can't say yes or no to that question because every single story is different.
Well, let's talk about.
But I
But I
was
was
talking
talking
about
about this particular story and based on what we had at the time. But the story evolved as the months went.
Okay. And when you say it evolved, you mean you got more information and more letters and things like that?
No, I'm talking about as far as, we're getting the story. Star Marie alleges the information about your client, and then I do the interview. Lovely T receives information that she got from fans later. I found out wasn't from Cardi with photoshopped receipts. And then I later found out by your client uploading a video that she did in fact know Star Marie. So she said she didn't know her and then later came back and said that she did know her. So it evolved. It was a series of videos that came out that added different context. I'm sorry. I should address that added different context to the initial story in which Star Marie told when she uploaded her first live alleging her relationship with Cardi B.
Okay. But part of what you're talking about here also is your interview, correct?
Part of it, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And when you're talking. So you just said something interesting. You said that it came out that Cardi B did know Star Marie, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, guys, we're gonna stop right there.
Okay.
This is our cliffhanger. Guys, I gotta come back on Friday.
All righty.
So, guys, exclusively on the infamous Sylvie show, we just wanted to show you guys that we have the real transcript.
The real deal.
We got the receipts.
Hey.
So, what do y'all think? What do you guys think?
Wow, I was really getting frustrated.
Right.
I mean, really?
Was she playing? I mean, that's a bad
Whoa.
wording, but was she
Yeah.
playing
I mean, she had
simple?
Yeah, I think she was playing dumb.
Okay.
Trying to spin it. Seemed like.
Wow.
All right, guys. We will see you guys on Friday.
All right.
Hey.
You guys have a
Bye.
great one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. All right.
Welcome.
Friday, guys.
All
Bye.
right.
All right.
Bye, Miss Sylvia. We leave now?
Yeah, we
Okay.
leave.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold on now. Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I think it goes something like this. Whoa.